Hello everyone, and welcome to Simply Scrapbooked. Today we're going to make a 2-page spread that I call Ribbons All Day. So what you're going to need is 2 background pages, 3 patterned pages. You can have one that's kind of loud and 2 that are more muted. You can have a journal box or a title and possibly both. About 4 mats for photos, and a repositionable tape runner. And of course, as in every page layout we do, your 12-inch trimmer. So let's get started. All right, 12-inch trimmer at the front. I am going to stack all 3 of these papers together so we can make our cuts all at one time. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut 2-inch strips. So to do that, I know this paper is 12 by 12. So if I come in here at 10 inches, I know I'm taking off a 2-inch strip, right? Because 12 minus 2 would be 10. I passed math. How about that? All right, so I'm going to cut at 10. And I am going to take that off. And then 10 minus 2 would be 8. So I'm going to come into 8 inches. And I'm going to cut that off. And then I'm going to come into 6 inches. Cut that one. And then I'm going to come into 4 inches. And I think that will do it. Let's see here. Okay, that'll do it. And then this other, if you wanted to turn it and cut it at 6 inches, you could make your mats right there and not have to use any mats from here. But I think a contrasting mat works better. So I'm going to put this in my scrap box. And then I'll file my scrap box into my sort and stash binder later. So that's all your cuts. Now, I happen to have the ribbon maker. Now, this is not for sale anymore, but if you have it, this is great because it'll cut that little notch to make your ribbons very, very easily. So you just push the little notch, it pops up, and I'm going to be able to put my little strips into the maker, and it's going to cut my little notches for me. So I'm going to push them in here till it stops. Right there, push down, and I have my perfect little ribbon. Now, if you don't have this neat little gadget, you know that you can take your strip, you can fold it to where they match, and you can take scissors. You cut from the folded to the corner, cut there, and it will do the same thing. But since I have my nifty tool, I am going to go ahead and use it, and I am going to cut 3 at a time. Slide it in till it stops. Oops, that must not be all the way. There we go. And it's going to cut my little ribbons for me. You know what? That last one, I didn't get all the way in. Let me do that one again. And you know what? If it doesn't fix it, I'm okay with that because this is scrapbooking. It's a handcraft, and nothing's ever perfect in handcrafting. All right, there we go. Gonna sweep away my little scraps. Gonna fold this back down, latch it shut. And then we are ready to put this page together. So, you're going to do one side first. So I'm going to move this other page out of the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our papers, and I'm actually going to put the fancy one at the bottom on this side. So I'm going to put the 2 that are the same together like this. And then I'm going to go ahead and match them up off to the side over here for the second page. Now, I did try, and you may have seen this on my little speedy one, I did try mixing them up and seeing how it looked like this. I thought it was too busy, so I went back to doing like this. So do it how you want. This is my take on it. So what I do is I take it and I kind of stagger them a little bit. So I like to start with this one a little far down and then bring this one up. This one can come way down and this one can come up a little bit. Maybe this one goes all the way to the end and then this one ends up maybe in a little bit here. And then I'm ready to stick them down. So I'm going to take my tape runner. Again, this is repo because it's going to come off the edge some because I don't know exactly where the edge of my paper is. So I'm just sticking it down. I'm not worrying about this bit over here. We're going to cut that off at the end. And I said this one was going to come almost all the way up. And then this one comes next. This one was going to come way down. This one is next. And it's coming up a little bit here. Then this one. This one we said was going to come all the way. So we're going to line it up here. And it's really easy to do just butting them up against the one right above it. And this last one will bring down just a little bit. Right here. Actually, I'm going to overlap it just a little bit right there. Okay. Now then, let me go on and put a little right there. Okay. Now, you notice that this is sticking off all crooked over here. So I'm going to take my trimmer. I'm going to flip this upside down. And I am going to cut the edge off. So I line this edge up with the dotted line, the first dotted line on my trimmer on the gray mat right there. And that's where this is going to cut. You can also use your little guide. I don't have a fingernail right there to get it out. Let me see here. It doesn't want to come out today. Come on out and play with this. All right, let's do it this way. There's a guide right here on the end and a little point on either end, and it will show you exactly where it's going to cut. And right now it's showing me that I'm off just a little bit. So if I cut, it just cuts off these little bits. So now I've got my ribbons on this page. So I need to repeat the process. And this time, when I do this, I am going to switch up the order a little bit. So this time, I want these to be in the middle. And remember, I'm going to be flipping this page the other way. So if I put these up top, when I flip it around, sorry, these up top, when I flip it around, they're going to be at the bottom. So I'm going to put them there, and I'm going to put these there. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to put it down a little bit, right up against the edge. Here comes the next one. It's going to come up a little bit. Oh, didn't go all the way to the bottom. That's why we use repo tape runner, folks. There we go. Maybe a little bit more under here. There we go. This one will come way down here. This one can come right in there, just not quite all the way up. This one will bring way in. And the last one will make all the way up. And this one I do want to line up with the bottom of the page. There we go. Now I'm going to flip it upside down. Got a little arrow sticking up here. There we go. So now I'm gonna flip it upside down, put it on my trimmer, line it up with the little black line, trim off the excess. And now I can line up my pages. And now you can see I've got my entire page here. So let's take my little journal box here. Let's see. I always like my journal boxes kind of in the top or the bottom. Let's try it over here. And let's see what we do here. If I put this one here, and then, let's see, this one maybe here, maybe this here. Now this will be covered by a 4x6 photo. I can cut this one down. Maybe I can put a small picture up there. Let me cut this down. Maybe cut it in half. There we go. And then let me trim this up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to put it up top. And then I can move these down a little bit. There we go. So now let me find my tape runner and I will stick all this down. Notice that with these, the journal box and the title, I'm also adding a little bit of contrasting color, so it's just not all black and red. Oh, welcome Rosie to our little video. Oh, and I just put that on the wrong side. Okay, so magic of repositionable tape runner. It also just rubs off. So now I can put the repositionable tape runner on the correct side. And now this one will go right here. And this one will finish us off. Let's see, do we want it? I want it like this, I think. Right there. So there you have our finished 2-page spread. This is a Disney Extra. This one will be for my birthday at Disney because our shirts and our ears that day are red and black. So this will be my birthday day. Now let me show you 2 other spreads done using our ribbons all day. So this one is 2 pages of Jenny sleeping. Now, one thing I learned on this one is that it's better to have a background that contrasts a bit more. So if I had used like a darker pink, like a hot pink, or even a bubblegum pink as a background, it would have been a little better to contrast those ribbons. But this one, I did a little better on. This is the one I did the high speed one on. This is on Jenny's style. And look at that pretty with all the blues. So this is a very quick, very easy technique. I love it, and I hope you do too. See you next time.